All set? All right. Welcome everybody to this planning board meeting, Wednesday, December 17th. First item on our agenda is a roll call. Tonight we have Mr. Beckett, we have Mr. Costello, myself, Phil Ruck, we've got Judd McIntosh, Bob Baer, we got Lisa Buck and Krista Schwinzer down on the end. Next up is acceptance of the agenda.
So moved.
Very good. Second, any comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? All right, next up is approval of the minutes of August 20th, 2025 and September 17th, 2025 planning board meetings. We're gonna bust these up into two because different people were absent at each meeting. So let's take the August 20th, 2025 one first. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Very good. And who was absent? Who was it?
Absent.
I was absent. So do we have a quorum to vote on that?
No, August, you were there, right?
Here,
It was
August.
Ashley and I-
Yeah.
It was Ashley and I that were absent.
Oh, that's, I was looking at the wrong one. That's September. Yeah. All right. Edits on that? Nothing?
Nice.
Wow. Wow. This is a great start. I'm just saying. All right. With no edits whatsoever, all those in favor? All right, next up, minutes of September 17th. And again, looking at that one, I was absent, as was Lisa, Michael, and Krista. So do we have a quorum for that one? I don't,
1, 2, 3, there's 4.
1, 2. John Quinn is not here.
So 3.
Ashley's not here. We don't have enough. I don't believe. Push that off. We're gonna table that to the next one. So I'm trying to even remember. I don't table much stuff. Do we need a motion to table? Yeah.
Yeah.
Motion to table, please.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? I think we can all vote for that. Good. All right, moving on. We have one public hearing under new business this evening. It is a major site plan review application of the University of Maine, authorized agent WBRC Incorporated, to construct a 60,000 square foot multipurpose use sports facility with pedestrian improvements and a new stormwater treatment gravel wetland, as well as reconfiguring the existing north gym parking lot and a portion of the existing track and field around the exterior of the football field at 168 College Avenue. This is a portion of tax map 11, lot 77 in the University zoning district. So how we've done this in the past, our previous planner has moved on from us. The protocol previously was that Isabel would do a fairly detailed presentation. The applicant would add to that. Isabel's not here. So
I'm gonna do
a short one.
Short one, get through it quick.
Okay.
Allow WBRC and Toby to fill in any gaps that are there.
Got it.
But I was able to put some stuff together, so I figured that would be the easiest way to go. So
Works for me.
it was the same, kind of the same. I know I'm nothing like Isabel,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
bear with us. And I think details, Toby's gonna be able to give you the answers to those. So if you have questions about that, I would, and I may even say in this section, I think Toby will provide a little bit more in-depth stuff. So if that makes sense, that's
Works for me.
okay. I gotta put those back on and share my screen. This is probably the most difficult part, is just sharing my screen. Go here. All right, there we go. Morse Arena, major site plan application. As the chair had said, this is applicant is University of Maine from WBRC, major site plan review, Morse Arena, and with this as well as a gravel wetland that's approximately 42,000 square feet on a different part, and we can talk about that a little bit different. In the university zone, the parcel of the portion of it is about 1.84 acres. That is the site plan. It is in your packets, and I can bring it up later if people are looking for it. So basically, if with the planner's report, this kind of mimics that. Lighting, there is exterior lighting plan for the plaza and walkway areas, and all the fixtures regulated by the ordinance will be downcast and shielded, just like they're supposed to be. Issue 2 is trees and natural resources. The proposal is within a developed area of the site already. There are no wetlands or significant natural areas in the project area. 3 trees were proposed to be removed that this planning board had talked about in the last project with the Alphon that were going to stay. And in fact, in the original one, we had a conversation about that, and I said, "You're removing 3 trees. Can we add 3 trees back in? Because I don't see them anywhere." And in the second, when I got everything, as you'll see below this, there were lots of trees, lots of bushes being added back in. So very happy about that. That also would be removing the island that those trees were in. So as you can see, there's in your plans, also there's those trees and shrubs and a significant amount of stuff that they're adding. Traffic, access, and parking. The access would come through mainly College Ave via Long Road, but also internally. Obviously, there are a number of ways to get onto campus. The circulation associated with Morse Arena would be similar to the way it is now. As I mentioned before, they're going to remove that little island and kind of use the circle at Alphon Arena will be kind of the front corner of that entrance. And then Long Road is going to go right along there. They're actually moving it over a little bit and narrowing it to make it not so wide, and hoping to clean up some of the challenges that are there now. This is actually relocating existing use. They used to use the Memorial Gym, which they were no longer using. If you remember a while back, they played all their games at Cross Insurance Center, and then they came back to campus, but they will not be using that, and they're moving it to this location, which they feel like the road system can handle it because it's really just moving that use. Current condition, where the arena is actually being placed is the north lot portion. And if it's kind of the closest to the football field before you get to Long Road, that will be removed. That's about 149 spaces. The proposed removes those spaces, but there is 164 unused spaces over in the satellite lot and 48 new spaces of the soccer lot that came in, which replaced those. Basically, they offset that 49 loss. As well, when you think about the university, you think about the whole property, so it's not just right next to it. There is other parking on campus and lots of it in other places. And I do know currently that they are using the CCBA lots on the other side and shuttling people to hockey games currently. So they are working with that. The drainage, stormwater, and erosion control, there'll be a slight increase in impervious area from pre-development to post-development. They're going to get new drains, new catch basins, storm pipes that are being added, and then they will go into the collection system that's associated with the Sean Walsh Hockey Center and Alphon Arena. The proposed gravel wetland is actually treating the runoff from the Alphon Way football stadium in the satellite parking lot. There wasn't enough room to put that sort of thing with the infrastructure there. And so this portion is not the portion that is being done, but they really wanted to be able to treat that. And I think Toby can talk a little bit more to this gravel wetland, which is really a pretty good thing for treating the water coming off the site in general. There's a suggested condition about erosion control that we typically have in there. So that is that. Water, sewer, and utilities. It's currently served by public water and sewer. Just like all of campus on this side, these might seem familiar. Water is provided through the existing on-campus water main running along Long Road, Water District's main line on College Ave. There's a letter in your packet that there's adequate potable water to service this. Same with sewer. There's a letter in there from the sewer department that talks about that as well. The proposed arena will have fire suppression, and there is a condition of approval around the fire suppression system going to the fire department for there. The applicant is proposing underground electricity wherever feasible, and that is that. There's no real, no formal waivers necessary. There are some submission requirements that are not really applicable in there. The main one that I wanted to call out is the submission item related to stormwater maintenance agreement. They have one in place already. It asks that you have, that you get one. They have one in place. I've just, staff is proposing that be a condition that they provide that, because that was not in that packet. Recommended conditions are your standard conditions 1 through 5. And then the unique conditions were around the fire suppression system in the arena be approved by the fire department prior to a permit. The issuance would be that we need a copy of the current maintenance agreement for stormwater, and we need a copy of the approved amended SLOTA permit, which includes the gravel wetland before a building permit. That was fast, but I'm through it. So
Nice work.
I would ask Toby from WBRC to come up, and I will stop sharing.
Thank you, Mitch. You might not be Isabel, but you did a really good job. So thank you. As Mitch said, I'm Toby Misha with WBRC, representing this project. I don't like to get into the weeds too much and get into too much detail, because I could stay here all night long and talk about all of this stuff because it's just so interesting. But I know that you guys probably want to get home to your family at some point tonight, so I'll try to do a little bit more detail on what Mitch talked about on certain areas, specifically like stormwater, just to expand on that a little bit. But I really want to answer any questions that the board might have. So the project is a 2,651 seat, 60,000 square foot arena to be the new home of the men's and women's basketball teams. As Mitch stated, they play in the Memorial Gym right now in the pit. If anyone's seen a game there, it's really cool. It's definitely dated with really tiny seats, but it's amazing at the time, but it's time for something new. They have played at the Cross Insurance Center, but now they've moved back on campus and they need something permanent. As Mitch said, the wastewater are public, and we have letters of capacity from both entities. The site does have to have a site location of development amendment to their permit, and we've been through that process with the DEP. It hasn't been finalized yet, but we've been told that we can expect a permit any day now. I just want to show. So for anyone that can see this, this is the campus as a whole. Can you still hear me if I'm?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the football field, the old track. There is a new track that's almost done, as well as a new soccer field. And the new Morse Arena is going to go over this parking lot, as well as the removal of this track and this portion of the track and field. The gravel wetland is actually on the other side of College Avenue, and it's treating stormwater from this area as opposed to stormwater from this area, which drains to a different outfall from the campus, which is on the other side. So by doing this, we're able to treat areas that have a higher pollutant ranking than a new building, which is preferred by the DEP. So we designed the gravel wetland to go here to collect this stormwater. as Mitch said, from the satellite lot, Alphond Way, in that area, instead of the stormwater that's coming from Morse Arena. We did provide the stormwater calculations for the 25-year storm for the Morse Arena project area itself, just to show that there's no increase in peak runoff. Regarding traffic and pedestrian, Long Road is, when you come up over from College Avenue, it's about 30 feet wide. There's no pedestrian walkways. I think there's some painted crosswalk on the left side as you're driving towards the gym, but it's not safe by any means. So this project proposes to narrow Long Road to 24 feet. And what that's going to do is help to naturally slow vehicles down. We're also curbing both sides, and we're going to have an esplanade and a larger walkway closer to Morse Arena, which is going to give people a place to walk where they don't have that right now. And regarding parking, the university is always constantly looking for ways to improve its parking, adjust its parking. They do parking counts every year, and they keep track, and they will alternate what parking is being used by, commuters versus dormitories, residents. But there's a constant ongoing use by the university in that aspect. There was also, I found this interesting, so I'll pass it on. There's a traffic movement permit that is underway by the university with the help of Sebago Technics, and they actually did traffic counts, and they did a traffic count for when the men's hockey game was sold out, and they found the traffic from that was less than their normal daily traffic to and from the campus, from the student uses. So it is true that there is some parking that is going to be taken away, but there's other parking adjacent areas. And there is, like Mitch said, they shuttle spectators to and from Alphond. I'm an alum from UMaine, and I can tell you I've never had an issue parking there. There's always tons of parking. So, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions from the public, from anyone on the board.
Great. Thank you, Toby. Couple things before we open the public hearing. Toby, I want the board to remember that we've had some similar discussions for the Alphond improvements a little while back. So remember, traffic was a pretty big issue for that project as well. And we had this discussion, and as I was reviewing the materials, I just recalled that, again, we don't have to assume that the parking for projects like this at the university need to be right beside a facility. Again, I just reminding people on that discussion, because it might save us a little bit of effort in review. I just want you to recall the conversations we had, and that there is a lot of parking at the university campus. So just keep that in mind. There were concerns from the public, you recall the last time, questioning the traffic study that the university submitted. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of parking. They're reconfiguring, but just wanted people to remind that, or have some context for this. So that said, Toby, you mentioned pedestrian safety. I saw that in the review packet, that's one of the focal points of this, is to improve like walkability in that area as
Yes.
well.
Yep.
And I think you just mentioned the esplanade, the curb, those things would protect pedestrian traffic
Yeah.
in and around Morse. So
Yep.
you need to expand on that, or is that? Yeah.
I think that's it. We have crosswalks and detectable warning strips, and that esplanade I believe is 10 feet wide with the walkway being 15 feet wide.
Yep.
And so it's a nice wide area that's away from the moving vehicles, which they don't have right now. Anyone that walks up Long Road there's no barrier in between.
Correct. All right, thank you. Any questions to Toby on traffic, parking? Yeah.
Just a general question. Is parking an issue for the planning board?
Yeah, this is a good question. So parking is definitely one of our review criteria. And normally with projects, like new projects, there's certain number of parking spaces per square foot of structure. And I don't remember what all
Per
those.
bedroom.
Yeah, well, there's per bedroom for residential stuff, but for commercial or maybe institutional, I think there must be some ratio in our,
Yeah, for the use, there is typically some,
right.
for the use, there's a chart of how that works.
Right.
As how much that is. It is complicated. I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for, but at the university, because of how they use their parking and how it is there.
Right. My understanding of this review is that you're looking at the university as a whole and not just the Morse, the proposed Morse facility independently.
Yeah.
That they would have to provide that right next to the building, I think.
Yes.
My understanding is
Yep,
that
that's correct.
we look at it as a whole. So long answer to your question, but yes, we look at parking, but we're not looking at just that facility. Other questions?
Is
Right.
the satellite parking the steam plant? Is that,
No, that's a separate parking lot. The satellite lot is
yeah,
it's this lot right here.
oh, I see, which is pre-existed.
Yep.
I see. And with this, so this is like half the capacity of Alphond, right? Is now
Correct.
around
Yep.
5,000. And we're losing net 100 parking spaces. And is there, I mean, the only time I think it'd be an issue is if you have a basketball game and a hockey game at the same time. Like
And
that's-
the university has stated that they will not have them both at the same time.
The other thing I would add to that is that they are very, coordinated because of staffing issues. They don't have enough staff to actually operate multiple large events at the same time.
Sure.
So it's very coordinated. If you look at their schedule now, hockey goes on, there is not basketball at the same time. And usually it's like weekdays and Sundays, afternoon games on Saturdays. But if there's a Saturday game, even with basketball now, it's not on, hockey's away. I mean, having done this in a previous life, you have limited staff and you can't put multiple things at the same time because you just don't have enough people to manage it. So, but that's just an added thing there that I know that has been a practice.
I had one other question. So Megan Hess, our Assistant Director of Public Works, pointed out that I guess when we did the Alphon improvements that College Ave there was some erosion issues. Did you read that letter from Megan?
I didn't
So
actually see that.
she just called out that,
Yeah.
we need to make sure they keep College Ave clean during construction,
Mhm.
better than they did during the previous project. So I know we have one of our caveats, one of our requirements.
Yep.
That you need to put in proper erosion control. I don't have the context of what this is like. Do we feel like we're good enough here with this
Right.
requirement?
Do you mind if I add a little bit to that? I don't want to talk out of order, but this past year, the main DEP has made the main construction general permit required for every project. And not only that, but it's the contractor that has to pull the permit or the person that's responsible for the erosion and sedimentation control oversight. So they're now on the hook for that. And it's being more enforced than it used to be.
Okay,
I would also say locally, one of the other conditions is the pre-construction meeting, which
That's
I've
what
been
I was
in
gonna say, yeah.
many, and we talk very specifically about this one issue because for whatever reason, no matter what happens, if there is dirt in the road, we get phone calls and it does. And sometimes we get them from DEP right away. So I think somebody from DEP lives in Orono because they drive through and we get phone calls. So we're very much on that. And I think, Megan does inspections of the erosion control as part of that construction. So during it, she will go and make sure that those erosion control measures are in place,
Okay.
following them and that sort of thing too. So,
And Public Works is gonna be at that pre-construction meeting, so in
Yes.
theory, they'll be like,
yep,
do better. Okay,
yep.
I'm done.
Question on stormwater. So it's interesting to have a project like this. We don't typically see this. So again, stormwater treatment, they're looking at it as a whole, similar, like parking. So we can't really review the stormwater for this project specifically, but a very interesting approach in treating some of the areas that don't have any treatment.
That don't
now
have treatment. Yep.
prior to discharge. So interesting situation, but I saw you have no matter where the site is, we're getting copies of all the stormwater inspections, all those
Yep.
kinds of things. Yeah, good. Are there any issues? So a slight increase in impervious, but you said that the current area, the current outfall is just going to manage that. Were there any proposed improvements
Yeah, nope.
for that outfall? Do you anticipate any changes?
No, we've actually, when we did Alfond, we prepared for this. We knew that this was probably going to come. So we upgraded some of the piping with Alfond specifically for this project.
Okay. Any other questions? Yep.
If Crossland Hall is demolished, how many parking spaces does that add? And is that part of this picture?
I have no, I'm sorry, that's not part of my project.
Yep. Yeah, I've read about that in the paper, but the project that we're reviewing tonight doesn't propose any of those improvements.
That's not relevant.
Yep, exactly. We can't consider that this evening. Other questions?
Yeah, I live in the area and walk my dog over there all the time. And the last construction project with the Alfon was really noisy. I'm assuming that they stayed within the noise restrictions. But I'm just pointing out that as a neighbor, it was pretty noisy.
Must have hours of,
Yeah. So,
was
but I think actually that's one of the standing conditions that
Yeah.
you guys have.
Yep.
And that's an enforcement issue on our side. We do also talk through those rules during the pre-construction meeting and that sort of thing. Certainly anybody that has concerns about noise can call the code office and we can check to make sure that they're working within the right levels.
Thanks.
other questions before we open it up? All right. I'm gonna open up the public hearing and please step up to the mic if you have concerns or opponents. Don't be shy now. All right, I'm gonna leave it open for another minute or two. Any further discussion? I mean, it seems like a nice improvement for the basketball teams at UMaine, having been a basketball fan for ages.
Nobody online here, so.
All right, nobody online. Last call. All right, close the public hearing. I believe we are ready for a motion. We do have proposed findings of fact. The conditions, the proposed conditions haven't changed. We didn't add any, so I'm not sure that we need any amendments to the proposed findings of fact, but considering that,
I also have a question about whether I'm technically in a butter. I didn't receive anything, but I live on Kell Street, which is literally across the street.
It's 500 feet.
yeah.
500? Okay.
I don't know how far you are, but
Yeah.
500 feet is the
That's what I was
surface.
thinking, yeah.
Yeah, probably not. Okay.
All right. We want to take a stab at it?
Is it written out somewhere?
I can do it. I don't, or someone else wants to go for it.
You got it.
I move to approve the site plan application of the University of Maine, authorized agent WBRC dated October 22nd, 2025, to complete the proposed new Morris Arena, be located over an existing parking lot as well as a portion of the existing track area south of the football field. The approximate project area of the new Morris Arena is 168,250 square feet, and the approximate project area of the new gravel wetland is 42,000 square feet. with the physical address being North Gym Parking Lot on a portion of tax map 11 lot 77 and tax map 11-2 lot 77. Project location shown on the aerial image below, which you're not gonna see with my words. Per the findings of fact dated December 17, 2025, and subject to the following conditions. Do we need to read the extra conditions? No? No conditions? We don't read those anymore, correct?
No, I don't believe so.
I think you could probably say the conditions as proposed.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
Yeah.
Subject to the following conditions, which are the 7 outlined, 8 outlined.
That'll work. Thank you, Jed. Any comments or can I get a second on that too?
I'll second that.
Any comments on that? All those in favor? All right, moving on. Next up, we have the town planner report. Mitch, what do you have for us?
So, well, I have you gathered here. Obviously, we've had some transition. EJ Roach, our new planning and economic development manager, who is here tonight, has been hired to, and his role is really going to be, managing this, the planning board, bringing things to the planning board, and doing those sorts of things. We're training, we're doing lots of different things to try to bring people up to speed. It's a little different because in the past we've had somebody that is a classically trained planner. But EJ's working through learning this process and getting stuff in front of you that are following the ordinances. So wanted to talk a little bit briefly about, obviously, there's an exhaustive thing that Isabel has done in the past, and I just did it and it's exhaustive. Now, I think if I did it every day, that would make it easier for me. I guess I'm opening this as a question to you folks as to how much information do you need, or is the way that it is happening, do you like this? Is it too much information, too little information? Is there a different, I guess I'm opening up to some questions about what you want to see, because we're looking at how do we do this in this Department of Code Enforcement and Planning. We've got 3 new people. Maddie is the expert at 6 months, and it goes down to 3 weeks, EJ. So, we're learning and we're looking at different ways to do things and become more efficient. So, trying to open this up to a conversation, but need to give you the things you need to make the decisions you want to make.
Are you asking about the review memo or the presentation?
Any of it.
What I just want to remind the board is historically, and those of you that have been on the board for a while, our process would be for applicants to present the project to us. And through Evan Rickert and then through Kyle and subsequent planners, we would have them fill in the gaps. So the burden was on the applicant to present the project. We'd ask for additional information from staff to fill in any gaps, identify anything that might have been missed in the applicant presentation. And then we would ask questions of the applicant and town staff and open it up to public hearing. Isabel's preference, if you recall, we had a workshop or something a while back, was that she would summarize the projects, and the applicants really didn't have to do a lot. She was extremely thorough, but things have changed. And when Mitch had mentioned in his email that EJ would be working with us now, I was wondering whether it might make sense to go back to the previous method where the applicant presents their project and town staff would supplement that presentation. So again, as Mitch said, I had the same thought. It's quite a burden on staff. And Isabel was very good at that, to prepare those presentations. But in my opinion, I think that burden should be back on the applicants. But
So that's all we're talking about, is just specifically that one thing.
preparation, yeah,
Just the presentation piece.
I believe so. Yeah. I mean, we need the planner's report. That
Yep.
was one of the
Yep.
best changes we had.
And all the gate,
A while.
not having to read everything in and all that stuff, that
Exactly.
stays, okay,
Yep.
all right.
We're good with that. I mean, I think
Yep.
it's just working through, and I don't know that it, once to be fair, once you've done this, what I did tonight, once the planner's report's written, that's pretty much straight from, the presentation becomes pretty much straight from that. on a
It's
high level.
redundant. Yeah, it's redundant
Yeah.
in a lot of ways, yeah.
Yeah, I've been in Toby's shoes on the other side of the dais, and typically the applicant has that burden of presentation. And that's what I'm used to. And I certainly didn't mind what Isabel did. She's very thorough, but that's
Yeah.
quite a burden.
Yep.
So thoughts on that, John? What do you think?
No, it was made life a little easier, but
Yeah.
I think it was a bit overwhelming for us.
Okay, Michael?
Would we still expect the staff recommendation and then the proposal? Pre-drafted?
Yeah, we can do that, because I think that's a
Yep.
part of the challenge for you is now we've got to create this on the fly, so we don't have a problem getting proposed.
It eliminates the risk of us leaving something out or not getting it
That
quoted
makes sense to
correctly.
me, yeah.
Yes. Jed?
Yeah, I'm on board.
Bob?
I'd want to know what EJ thinks about this.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Hey, Krista?
I like the idea of the person who is making the proposal, asking us to do things, doing the presentation. Somehow, when the planner presents all of that, it feels like there's a filter put in between.
Good point. I agree. I think the applicant should tell us what they're proposing. But town staff, again, we would just request, EJ, that you're filling in the gaps, identifying any issues that might not have been covered thoroughly enough in those presentations, and that works pretty smoothly. Or it has for,
I think with the proposed findings of facts and the planner's report.
Yep.
If it's available obviously be available to the applicant, they understand what you're getting. And so that gives them a guide to follow to present.
yes,
I think that's reasonable too, so.
okay. Good. That's enough feedback. Anything else?
That's good. No, I think we appreciate, one of the things I will tell you that made me feel comfortable about the fact that I had to pinch hit here was how well you guys do. And in this process of hiring somebody, I have talked to a lot of other municipalities and have suggested that their boards are not as easy to work with as ours, and you guys do a wonderful job. So I want to publicly say that, because really appreciate the way that you guys process through and really look into these things where sometimes other boards don't do that, and understand your role. And I think that's important. And so really appreciate that. And like I said, that what made me really comfortable about being able to try to put this together in the pinch hit world.
So will EJ be giving us a raise then? I'm just wondering.
Yes, you will.
Okay.
We're going to double your salary.
Nice. That's great. That is great.
Oh, counselor said triplet, so we're good.
Nice. Good on, bring it in.
0, 0, 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's all I have for.
What do we
now.
have on tap?
So it looks like we're gonna, right now, we might have one in January that's a home-based business. So not a huge lift for EJ's first one.
Okay.
So, yeah. But other than that, we currently don't have anything else for the January one.
I guess I might as well just give an update, interject for the planner, but we had the council public hearing on a comprehensive plan on Monday night. I provided a comment, kind of echoing some of the concerns of the committee about making sure that the plan would be taken seriously and implemented by the council, as you remember those discussions. So I've got some assurances that the council will be, figuring out a process to
Measure it.
to measure it, to make sure that, because again, my thought was, and you participated in the one the last time. I'm not sure that there was an understanding from the public of some of the successes that we were able to achieve from that comprehensive plan. So I encourage the council to be able to measure it and so that the public understands, changes that have been made, improvements, new policies, what have you, that this was based off the comp plan, so we don't have that same issue 10 years down the road.
So I would just add to that, the way that we are looking at this staff wise and kind of that implementation, there's a lot of heavy lifting around ordinance changes with a comp plan. And obviously this is all subject to budget approval by our council. But one of the things that we are looking for is this would not be EJ trying to do this. We would probably hire a consultant to work through rewrites and things like that to do that on the side. So we were having somebody like an Isabel type person that could walk us through that, because it's exhaustive when you're looking at that. So trying to do that and do other things can sometimes be a challenge. So our goal is to try to focus on how do we implement this? What are the perfect next steps, and how do we get this going? Like it happened last year. And I think you would know better because you were here when it happened. But I think typically in the first few years, there's a lot of work that's going into how do we arrange all this and plan what are the steps, and kind of as it gets longer, you accomplish more up the front than you do towards the end, because towards the end, it's looking at things that were in there. Are they still applicable today? Are they still, we didn't get to it because it wasn't a priority then. Do they still happen? But I know we are, as a staff, are prepared to look at this and work with the council and the community to institute this and implement it the way that,
I
so it
recall
doesn't
that
just sit there.
Isabel wanted a whole rewrite, if I recall.
Yes, that is pretty much what's in there. And the other thing that's happened statewide is the state has come out with a lot of new ordinances around land use and housing and things like that, that we've got to integrate into this. So, and you all know that the minute you change one ordinance, you probably end up changing 3 others because they're all tied together in some way, shape, or form. So really, you need to take a holistic look when you're looking at land use ordinances as how that all fits together, and it needs to be done in a kind of orderly way. So it's a big lift, but that's what it's all about. And we're excited about the opportunity to look at what the community has created and move it forward. So.
Good. Any questions for Mitch? All right, next up is adjournment. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Very good. Further discussion? I do have one comment. Happy holidays, everybody.
Two.
We'll see you in January.
Party on.
All right, all those in favor?